could be the kind of girl that you could be down for.
Hey y'all, welcome back. It's another day of Vlogmas. We on day 22. We almost done, y'all. We almost done. For real. In real life, in a real life way, we almost done. So, what we got, like 3 days left? So, day 22, I'm judging y'all. Yes, we're being judgmental today. Today, for Vlogmas, we are looking at Aita Reddit. If you don't know what that means am I the asshole? So I have a total of 6 pulled up, but if we can get through at least 4, it's cool. I tried to keep them all holiday edition, so we're gonna read multiple different ones, and I'm going to judge if I think they're an a-hole or not. So let's go. So the first one I pulled up is, am I the asshole for not changing holiday plans so my wife can see her family and telling her to travel alone? My wife and I have been married for 10 years and have 2 kids, 6 and 3. We moved to a new city for my wife's job before the kids, so we are no longer close to either of our families. We had previously lived close enough to both our families that we could see each of them during the holidays, but since we moved, we had to pick one or the other. My parents also moved after they retired, so now we have to fly to see either of our families. So we came up with a plan to rotate holidays every other year. Of course, the last couple of years, we have not seen either of them. 2 years ago, it was supposed to be my family's year, but we didn't travel for Xmas because we didn't want to travel with our youngest. Last year was supposed to be my wife's year, but we didn't travel for obvious reasons. So this year, I was excited to finally see my family again for Xmas. We booked our flights months ago, and I've been looking forward to it. My wife was on board with it until a few weeks ago. She was talking with her mom one day, and mother-in-law mentioned that all of my wife's siblings were coming to their place for Xmas. My wife's siblings are scattered across the U.S., and it's rare that they all get together in one place. When my wife found out, she felt extremely left out and asked if we could switch our plans to see her family instead. Even though we already had plans to see my family and it was scheduled my year. I was kind of upset by this because I felt that my wife was putting her family above mine and going against our holiday schedule agreement when we had already had a plan. I'm sorry. It's a lot of talking, and this lip gloss is real gummy. We kind of fought about it because I didn't want to change our plans, and she felt I was being too rigid in our planning, and that this was a special circumstance because her entire family will be there, and that never happens. Both of us miss seeing our families for Xmas since it's been 3 to 4 years since we've spent the holidays with them. My wife is continuing to push me to change our plans, and I don't want to budge. When she brought it up again the other day, I finally kind of snapped at her. I told her that she wants to go see her family, then she can do it, but she'll be going alone. I told her I'll take the kids to see my family, and she could go see hers by herself. She told me that I was being a jerk about it, and that I should be more understanding her desire to see her family. I told her she was completely disregarding my family and that I offered her compromise, but I do not want to change our entire plan just because our siblings decide they want to get together this year. I told her next year we will all go see her family just like we agreed, but she didn't like that because she doesn't think her siblings will be there next year. We haven't came to a resolution yet, and my wife is pissed at me for not changing our plans and for thinking my compromise is even a simple idea when she doesn't want to be away from her kids for Xmas. I don't think he's the asshole. Like, we planned this months ahead. I'm not gonna change my plans just because your siblings decided this the year they want to get together. And either way, like, they would not be seeing them anyway because it's not her scheduled family month. Her family scheduled holidays. You know what I'm saying? So either way, it don't matter because it's not your month, not your year, sorry. If she wants to go see her family, I feel like if she wants to go see them that bad, she should go by herself. I don't think you're the asshole. Personally. Next story. Am I the asshole for calling my wife unreasonable for backing out of spending Christmas with my family after my mother rejected her cookie sample. Context. For every holiday, my mother would ask the women in the family, my sister, sister-in-law, my wife, my female cousins, to send samples of the desserts they plan to bring to the celebration for testing and to see if the desserts can make it to the food menu. My wife has been complaining about my mother deliberately rejecting every dessert she sent. So many times my mother has told her that she's being honest and keeping the guest's interests best at heart. Yet my wife still thought that my mother is deliberately excluding her since 2 of her dessert samples were rejected before. For this year's Christmas, my mother is doing the same thing, but this time she told every woman who are participating to make a cookie sample and send it to her for testing. My wife took it as a challenge, and to be honest, she worked really hard to make a good sample and sent it to my mother days ago, and her results just came in yesterday. I came home from work and found my wife upset. I asked her what's wrong. She told me that my mother rejected the sample she sent and decided to exclude her baking from the list the full list / menu for Christmas this year. I didn't know what to say, but she told me she was backing out of the invitation to attend Christmas with family. I was stunned when I heard her make this statement. I tried to talk to her, but she said it was done. I called her unreasonable to decide to bail on the whole family over some cookie sample. That's just freaking crazy and quite unreasonable. We had a full-on argument about it, and she stated that my mother caused this, but I told her that my mother is pretty serious and careful about the food she offers to guests since we are going to have relatives from coming outside the country. She told me to stop mentioning it. Later, I heard her cry despite telling her that her baking is amazing and people have preferences, that's all. And I asked her for insisting that her decision wasn't reasonable. Info. If you're asking whose cookie samples made it to the menu, the answer is my sister and my 2 cousins. Info. Few things. My wife wasn't the only one whose sample was rejected. We have sister-in-laws, brother's wife, and my younger sisters. My mother did not force anyone to participate. It was up to whoever wanted to take the part. This is just about the desserts, since my mother tends to be very careful and categorize our food, dishes, appetizers, salads, stuff like that. Is welcome. This is an update. Great. So I just got off the phone with my okay. Okay. This is an update. Sorry. So I just got the phone with my brother, and he told me that his wife is doing the same thing as my wife, and that she has decided to back out of the invitation to spend Christmas with family as well. Turns out my wife must have told her about her decision. She decided to follow her lead. My brother is pissed, saying my wife is encouraging his wife to do this. I see that this problem has gotten bigger now. Who knows? My younger sister might join in and decide not to go as well. I don't know how this got in control so quickly. I guess we'll try a discussion with my mother to see how this goes. And there's no other update. Okay, I think, to be honest, I want to say he's an asshole, but I feel like he's an asshole because if somebody was constantly rejecting, especially your mother is constantly rejecting every dessert idea I bring, but also I think the 3rd year, after the 3rd time of her rejecting it, I think I'm just probably going to participate. And it's not like she's being singled out because there's other people who are being rejected, but I think, you know what if I say that they're both the asshole? I feel like that's more reasonable to say, because I feel like if you felt like you was getting deliberately put out, first of all, if it's multiple people who, not even just like the in-laws or nothing, the sisters being put out, I mean the sisters thing not on the list either, I feel like you being a little dramatic. You know what I'm saying? And if she felt that way, she should have never participated. If she knew she was going to end up fucked up and heartbroken, she should have never participated. But I think he should have handled everything better. So, both the asshole. That's my ruling. 3rd story. Am I the asshole for asking my fiance to skip this year's Christmas family vacation because our baby is due? Context, I have gone to Florida with his family. Oh, this is the wife's perspective. Okay. I've gone to Florida with his family for the past 5 years for at least part of Christmas. Every other year, I return before him to spend Christmas Day with my family. This year is the first time in a long time that all the other siblings are able to overlap dates. My fiance has major FOMO, which is why this is a sensitive topic. What's FOMO? Hold on. Sorry, y'all, I'm a little slow. Oh, fear of missing out. He is such a loser. Which sorry. Which is why this is a sensitive subject. His parents have always been weird about keeping their family close. They never said it outright, but little things suggest they don't consider me completely part of their family yet since we aren't married. Also, my parents are away overseas dealing with a grandparents emergency. My mom has been kept in the loop though and is trying to come back as soon as she can. My fiance and I, 31 male and 31 female, are expecting our first baby due December 30th. His family has a vacation home in Florida and they have gone every year during the holidays for about a month until after New Year's. He agreed not to go this year because of the baby, but his family's insisting that he goes and comes back on the 28th, which is ample time before the baby is due. So he bought a ticket for December 15th through 28th. His reason that his parents really want him there, his siblings will also be going. This is bothering me a lot more than I thought because I know that pregnancies are unpredictable, especially in the last trimester. And if anything happens leading up to the due date, I need him there. My parents are away until December 26th, and my friends have their families, so I will be completely alone. The other reason, and I guess it's more selfish, that I will be spending Christmas by myself. It's not the main reason why I'm bothered, but it's a small part of it. He's been spending Christmas every year in Florida since he was 15, and there will be many more trips after the baby is born. I don't know why he has to go this year. Anytime I bring it up, it results in a very uncomfortable fight about my expectations to put me first rather than his parents. I don't even bring it up anymore. His parents have always been kind to me, but it's also they also don't see any problem. I think I'm going crazy. Am I the asshole here? I think there's an update. I think she's not the asshole and her husband. No, not even her fiance. I think he's her fiance. He's an asshole. He's an asshole. Because you don't have to go this year. You don't. And then you don't have to go as long. For the 15th through the 28th is crazy, by the way. Just to see some family, you can go for 3 days and come back. Your wife is in her last trimester. You know nobody's going to be there. Why the fuck would you ever not want your wife to split? I mean, your fiance, I think. Or girlfriend, whatever. Fiance. Why the fuck would you ever want your fiance to spend holidays alone, especially when she's pregnant? And pregnancy is the worst time to spend alone. Man, get this shit out. Nah. Update. I'm sorry for not updating sooner. Everything has been overwhelming, and I'm trying to deal with a lot. The good news is that my mother arrived home yesterday when I had explained everything to her. Her sister, who is a retired nurse, insisted she come too. I'm too thankful to have them here. It's hard to get my feelings across as there is a bit of a cultural barrier. My mom is from HK, and without getting into details, my grandparents' situation was very much an emergency. But she has siblings and my dad who is staying there at the moment. As for my fiance, I scheduled a virtual appointment with him and my OGYN to update her and told her about this whole situation. Like all the issues applied, and strongly recommend he not travel during this time. Her words were, in my professional opinion, I'm going to very strongly recommend you reconsider your plans. In my personal opinion, I'm going to insist it. It was probably on me for not alerting her sooner. His travel plans after that, he's going to adjust his day so he can back on the 22nd. Okay. There will be 1 day overlap with his siblings. His mom isn't too happy he won't be on there for Christmas. He's suggesting he fly back later on the 25th so he can spend a part of Christmas Day with them. But he said no. It's still not ideal for me. My mom and aunt has insisted to speak with his parents, so we scheduled a call with them later today. I reached out to my best friend too about this after I read some of your responses in private messages. She was livid and informed her husband that she doesn't care if it's on Christmas Day. If I go until ever, she will drop everything and be there. She also been kept up to date about who will be with me while he is away and will be visiting. I know there's a lot of questions regarding the family, but I can't address them all. It's too much to write out. Yes, I know they don't treat me completely as family. There has always been small, passive-aggressive things that bother me. Not invited to Mother Father's Day events. Left out of Secret Santa. Not allowed to sleep in the same room when we visit. What the fuck? I'm so sorry. This is crazy. Yes, I know that his mother must be aware that he shouldn't be leaving me at 37 weeks. She's not dumb, and I update her after all my appointments, so I know she knows this too. I don't know why she's saying it's okay, but I have no idea why. My mom has made clear she will be addressing all this in the call. Some of you wonder how they afford to go to Florida for a month. His parents are retired snowbird there. His siblings and sister-in-law all have 9 to 5s that are partly remote, so they are lucky enough to take their work to Florida and work there. My fiance is a gig worker, so he dictates his own schedule. Obviously, their schedules don't always align. I haven't showed him this thread yet at the moment. It's just one more thing I don't want to deal with him. I may in the future, but I have to suggest we go to therapy before we set a wedding date. He agreed. I also am seeking counseling for myself. Lastly, I'm incredibly grateful for you all for yeah. There's another update, but I just want to say I still believe he's the asshole. Like, I feel like I don't know. I'm not saying he has to drop it all for her, but drop it all for your pregnant fiance. You know what I mean? Like, your fiance is pregnant. Why are you acting like this? And his mom, I think his mom just doesn't like her or something. Happy holidays, everyone. I know some of you were asking for an update, so here it goes. Baby girl was born December 20th and mind you, he wasn't gonna, oh my God, I don't think this nigga was there. Because he said the 22nd he was gonna be back. Girl, and he was talking about coming back on the 28th. The baby came 10 days early anyways. What the fuck? Sorry. I'm so sorry. That had me stressed. Baby girl was born December 20th at 6 IVS and 10 ounces. 6 pounds and 10 ounces, sorry. At 9:42 p.m. My mom, aunt, and best friend were there during labor. My mom was present during birth. She's healthy and we're all exhausted, but I'm grateful for my support system. My ex-fiance, yes, Lord! Yes. Yes. That's what we did. Did not make it for the birth. During the video call with his mother, my mom told her that he needs to come back immediately, otherwise she will be taking me home and they will not be welcome to visit the baby. It was a very, very heated call, but the outcome was that my mom and aunt packed up the things and we went back to my parents' house where I am currently residing. So you can guess what happened here. What happened there? It hurts a lot. I had a very upsetting phone call about him, about his prayers, now that we were literally down to the wire, and the conversation ended without much resolution. He hung up on me. I messaged him after our daughter was born to let him know I gave him birth and she was healthy. He tried to video call a lot after, but I didn't pick up. He had returned home on the 22nd as planned. Of course, I wasn't at the condo. I think they all thought my mom was bluffing. He tried to come by my parents' house many times, and at one point sat outside in his car for hours when my mom and aunt wouldn't let him in. Finally, on Christmas Day, we let him see the daughter. He and I discussed our future. My mom and aunt have been very vocal about breaking off the engagement, and I agreed. After that call with his parents, I didn't want to be involved with the family. He was self-selfish. He told me his mother was very insistent that he go on a trip to show his family. He wanted to mend his relationships with them, and that his sister-in-law had been saying some awful things about me to him and his parents. I told her some things in confidence a couple years ago about some issues I was having with him, and she turned it around on me. This was all nail in the coffin. I could have possibly married into a family this toxic, so as it stands now, I have broken off the engagement and will be living at my parents' house. We have scheduled couples therapy in our first sessions tomorrow. He has apologized profusely and asked to stay with me to help his daughter. My mom doesn't want him sleeping here, so he's been coming by in the morning to help with her and leaving in the evening. His parents have told him that they would like to see our daughter as soon as they come back, and has video chatted with him once to show our daughter with them. Show our daughter to them. That's basically where we stand now. Undoubtedly, the situation will get back more complicated once his parents come back, and I can't think of that right now. My baby girl is healthy in a nursery set up in my childhood bedroom. She's surrounded by people who would give her the world. My aunt, who I haven't seen since Tana's here, and there's all the people's things I'm focusing. I think she's not the asshole. I don't think she's the asshole. He's an asshole. I think the whole his whole side of the family just needs to get nuked. Like, we should just get rid of people like that. You know what I'm saying? We could get rid of it now. You know? Because clearly he don't care about his fiance. Glad they broke up. Ugh, I'm so glad she ain't stay. Am I the asshole for calling my husband unreasonable for canceling the holiday trip just because me and my kids couldn't help him in an emergency? This one, I saw the title and I was like, this is interesting. This was interesting. My husband and I have been together for 4 years. I have 2 kids, 17 male, 19 female, and a half brother is 3 years old. This past week, my husband had an emergency. Dad had a medical emergency and wanted someone to watch our son. He asked my older son and he refused because he was going out with his friends. He also asked my daughter, but she locked herself in her room to study. I was at the restaurant with my brother meeting his girlfriend for the first time. My husband ended up taking our son with him to the hospital. His mom watched him from there. He came home and lashing out. Everyone called us selfish and unfeeling. I tried to explain that the kids were busy, but he told me to get the fuck out with that bullshit. Sorry, he didn't even say bullshit. He said bull, but that shit was needed to add it. Because my older son could have skipped the hangout and watched his brother, and my daughter could watch our brother while studying instead of locking herself in the room. He scolded me as well, and I told him I couldn't leave lunch with my brother since he was visiting town and this was my only chance to meet his girlfriend. He also more than told us he was canceling the family holiday trip for Christmas this year. The 2 other kids were upset and said it was unfair. I called him unreasonable to cancel the trip and punish the kids and possibly me like that. He refused to discuss it later. Now me and the kids aren't speaking to him and he's saying good riddance. Edit, my husband was supposed to watch our son at the time. That's why I went to see my brother at the restaurant. Kids are used to watching their brother when neither parent is home. Update, my husband just told that he was spending Christmas with his family, saying he needs to be around his dad anyways. The girls saying they'll just go to their dad since they and my husband are still not talking. Neither of the kids are happy with how things turned out, so I feel like things have gotten out of hand. The problem got bigger. He's not choosing to basically bend us on Christmas to keep our son away from me and his siblings. You're the asshole! I'm sorry. Meeting your brother's girlfriend is not that important. I promise you. That older son's party, not that important. Your daughter studying, she could have, like he said, she could have studied in the living room with the little 3-year-old. 3-year-olds, man, that little, she could have. This, y'all was just being difficult, and y'all are only mad because he's canceling the trip, and y'all can't reap the benefits. Clock that tea. Now. Am I the asshole for skipping Christmas with my parents since they won't treat me like an adult? I, female 27, have been with my boyfriend 33 for almost 2 years now. We will be getting married eventually, but it's not a priority. My mom won't let us share a bed if we come see them for any reason. When we come over this... I'm sorry. Y'all be grown as hell and can't share a bed. That cracks me up because... like, it's not even funny, but it's like, damn, y'all grown as hell. Y'all parents won't let y'all sleep in the same bed. What they think go on with y'all? Y'all just ain't fornicating. Okay. When we came over this last summer, my boyfriend suggested renting a hotel so we can have privacy in a comfort bed. It drove my mom nuts that we bypassed her little rules. She wouldn't drop it the entire time we were there. She made me promise not to do that again. My boyfriend's mom and dad are retired to Mexico and they are really chill, so we made plans to come visit them over the Christmas. They're not Christians, so they don't really care about when they see their son with regards to religious holidays. We didn't tell my parents we weren't coming. My mom asked me Thanksgiving. I was going to hold with my promise to not stay at a hotel over Christmas. I answered truthfully that I would not stay at a hotel. I'm sitting there at my balcony of my future in-laws condo, looking at the Caribbean, waiting for sunrise and enjoying the peace and quiet. I made the mistake of going online yesterday and saw a bunch of posts from my mama's sister about how I was a jerk for lying to them about my plans. I may have been a little tipsy last night because I decided to respond. I said that it was ridiculous to try and tell me I couldn't share a room with my boyfriend, that I was keeping my promise by not sharing a hotel when we were there. If they planned on putting everything on Facebook, I would be avoiding all visits for the foreseeable future. They took down their post when people started crapping on them for trying to control me, but some people did agree with them. Now they're texting me and saying I was an asshole for making them look bad. I asked them if they were trying to make me look good with their posts. They stopped for a while, but there were more texts and voicemail this morning. I'm kind of liking the idea of skipping out on the drama for now on, but I miss my dad and he is blaming this. I'm having a trouble wrapping down. Sorry, I'm having trouble wrapping my head around a couple of things that keep getting repeated. How was staying at a hotel so we didn't break our rules, not the adult choice? How many of you guys fly across the country for hours just to stay one night? Oh my God, her sister made a post. They got this bitch on here. I'm crying. Am I the asshole for laughing at my sister because her mom won't let her share a room with her fiance? I'm so sorry. That's so sorry. I posted here about a year ago because my mom and sister thought I was asshole because I went to Mexico. Oh, this is the same girl. I went to Mexico with my boyfriend instead of appeasing her and making him sleep on the couch. My little sister thought I was wrong for not being able to spend nights away from him. I'm sorry. Word soup. Well, we still are not married, and my mom won't change her rules. We are visiting them, though, and she accepts that we stay at a hotel. My sister, and it was one of the howler monkeys bugging me because I lied about not staying at the hotel last Christmas. She and her boyfriend got more serious since then, and they got engaged on Valentine's Day. Last weekend was my dad's 60th birthday, and we all came home. As per usual, I went to the hotel. Mom told Anya that my old room was available. Her fiance could stay there. My sister tried arguing about my mom, said there was no way that they were... my mom said there was no way that they were sharing a room. Anna tried to get me on her side because since I no longer follow any of them rules, I laughed at her and reminded her that she called me names for choosing to spend Christmas with my boyfriend's family instead of putting up with her mom. She started getting pissy and saying it was different because she was engaged and I am not. Our baby sister spoke up and said she already told me that she was going to follow my example if she ever gets serious with the guy. I'm pretty sure my mom thinks I'm the devil. Anyways, Anna is pissed that I laughed at her for trying to get away with something she scolded me about just a year ago. I just thought it was funny she thought the rules didn't apply to her. Yes, she is my mom's favorite. It didn't help. I just want to say this. I think she's not the asshole in either situation. I think she could have told her family that she wasn't coming to Christmas, but I feel like she didn't tell because she was avoiding drama, the drama that would come with of her mom, because her mom seems pretty manipulative and bitchy in my opinion, in my very well diverse opinion, you know. Is this the last story? Last story. My wife 32 and I 33 married over 2 years ago. Okay, wait, sorry. Sorry, I didn't read the thing. Am I the asshole for expecting my wife to visit my family for the holidays? My wife 32 and I 33 married over 2 years ago, and she is still salty about my parents wore to the wedding. My dad wore jeans with a blazer. My mom wore Petunia like vest under a silk shirt that was clearly visible in Crocs. What is a Petunia? Oh my God, look this up. You're lying. You're lying. Okay, wait. Please tell me you're lying. Petunia. I'm sorry, I just want to show y'all a Petunia. This is a Petunia. This is a kid's one, mind you. But, bitch, get the fuck on. Why would they wear that? I'm so sorry. Why would y'all come play in the wedding? I'm so confused. They just played all through there. A Petunia like vest under a silk shirt. Y'all not even cute either. This is crazy. I want to see pictures. I understood that was definitely not the wedding attire, appropriate attire, and I did tell them what to wear. However, having dealt with them my entire life, I cannot say I'm surprised. She says that she is upset because our wedding photos were not nice to look at, and she never framed them. My dad also yelled at the waiter, which was bad, yes, but she didn't know until after the wedding. My sister managed to get him under control, and it didn't impact the wedding. We thought about this a few days ago at the end of the wedding. Wait. Sorry, they worded this kind of confusing. We thought about this a few days ago at the end of the wedding, but it died down and we stopped discussing it, partly because my parents live 7 hours away, so she never interacted with them after the wedding. She told me that she wasn't visiting my family, and I took it to mean that year, which was fine, as the memory was too fresh, but she actually meant never. We had our son 8 months ago. She refuses to come see my parents for the holidays. I would understand that she stand it if it was that she wasn't feeling well, but she's feeling amazing because she's hiked for hours for the previous weekend, wants to go skiing again this season. She basically just doesn't want to interact with my family. My parents are not easy to deal with. My dad is not friendly. He's bitter from being unaccomplished, so that basically has left him with a miserable attitude. However, visiting once a year and sucking up for a few hours a day, when he hasn't actually blown up to make comments towards my wife beyond at the beginning when he said he doesn't like her profession and not to her face, doesn't seem unreasonable for her to dislike him that much. But she refuses, and traveling with the 8-month-old word soup. 8-month-old is incredibly difficult. She is still breastfeeding him, but has some frozen milk built up and thinks I should accept her not want to visit my parents by either bringing the frozen milk to feed him for a few days, or I go alone. I tried to tell her that it's really rude to not at least try to get along. If there is a fight, she won't need to interact with them again, but she straight up refuses. I feel like I'm being the asshole for expecting her to this, but speaking with my colleagues and close friends, most have family they do not like, and most do not like their in-laws and still make an effort to go at least once a year. But my wife says they ruined her wedding photos, so she's not visiting them anytime soon. You're an asshole. You know your parents. I feel like you're an asshole because you know your parents are unlikable and annoying as hell. You invited them to your wedding knowing that they would fuck it up because you said you didn't expect anything less from them. You knew they would fuck that shit up deep down in your heart. You still invited them and let them be in the photos and shit like that. And yet you're mad at your wife for not wanting to visit. Like, I think you're an asshole. Court adjourned, I guess. Yeah, court adjourned and shit.